Back to the phone lines. We'll talk to Israel in El Paso, Texas. Hi, Israel.
How you doing, Hank?
I'm doing well.
Wonderful. My question, I guess I wanted to get more information on the late dating of the domination period of the book of Revelation. We get that from one source, I believe. It's just Irenaeus. And if so, I'm just trying to wrap my mind around it and figure out if Irenaeus was so close to the Apostle John, why would he get it so wrong? And I know Irenaeus also, I think, said that Christ was 55 when he died. Therefore, we're able to kind of discard his statements. So I'm just trying to make sense of it. I don't know if I'm making a little sense.
Well, I don't know that I want to discard all the writings of Irenaeus, but I do think that we recognize that he is not infallible, and you have given us some good reasons for why we recognize that, from the supposed age of Jesus Christ to the supposed dating of the book of Revelation. I think there are really good reasons why we should recognize that all of the Bible was written prior to the destruction of the temple in Jerusalem. And there are many scholars, even in the secular world, that are now recognizing that reality. And they're recognizing it because just as it is unreasonable to suppose that someone writing a history of the World Trade Center in the aftermath of September 11, 2001 would fail to mention the destruction of the Twin Towers, so too I think it stretches credulity to suggest that Revelation was written in the aftermath of the devastation of Jerusalem and the Jewish temple, and yet would make no mention of this kind of an apocalypse, which was the ultimate apocalypse. And not only that, but if John is writing after this event, it is incredible to suppose that he wouldn't mention the fulfillment of Christ's most improbable and apocalyptic vision, because over and over again, the pattern of the biblical writers is to underscore fulfilled prophecy. Now you have a prophecy that augments and underscores the deity of Jesus Christ. And would someone fail to mention it? Of course not. I think it would be mentioned. So I think all of that leads to the reality that the Revelation was written prior to the destruction of the temple and Jerusalem.
I agree. I believe that as well. It makes total sense when you're engaging, an unbeliever or an atheist to try to prove the deity of Jesus Christ, especially when we come down to Matthew 24, him making, like what you say, the mother of all prophecies. And if everything was written before, 70 A.D., you can't really argue with that. There's nowhere to go if you're either an atheist, agnostic, unbeliever. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I do, in part. And as I've said many times, if Revelation was written before AD 70, it is reasonable to assume that the vision that was given to John was meant to reveal the apocalyptic events surrounding the destruction of Jerusalem, which, by the way, are events that were still in John's future at the time, but are, of course, in our past. And this does not presuppose in any way that all the prophecies of Revelation have already been fulfilled. So just as a thoughtful Christian should distance themselves from a fully futurist fallacy, they should disavow a predominantly preterist perspective as well, because there are those in the full preterist camp that are saying that all the prophecies have been fulfilled, but that's not the case. We know that Jesus will appear a second time, that the problem of sin and Satan will be fully and finally resolved, that the earth that now groans and travail will be liberated from its bondage to decay. All of those are yet future events. Written about this in various places, including the Complete Bible Answer Book Collector's Edition and the Apocalypse Code. Find out what the Bible really says about the end times and why it matters today. Back in just